Hello guys, we are going to talk a crime drama film called Zillion from 2022. A lot of interesting things are waiting for you. The film is based on real events and begins with the main character Frank, the owner of the most fun nightclub, Zillion. His voiceover tells us that at the age of 27 he was rich and famous, but he did not pass the face control at the 27 Club because he was not a musician. The story goes back to the past, when Frank was an ordinary short guy who sold counterfeit microchips from China. He transported them through customs as parts for a toy railroad. The young man was engaged in illegal business under the supervision of his mother Marlene, a strong-willed woman who successfully survived several types of cancer. Frank owes his character to her. The trading business began in the family cafe. Sellers called customers. And after a TV commercial, Frank set up an illegal supply of components from another country. While Frank is dealing with counterfeit computers, another character in the story, Dennis, is making movies with women on videotapes that are used to distribute the goods. In order to keep up with digital progress, Dennis asks Frank for help digitizing the tapes. In return, he gives Frank VIP tickets to the Care nightclub, which becomes a turning point. Taking a few friends, Frank goes to a party. However, despite having tickets, the security guards do not let him and his friends in, publicly humiliating him. The series of troubles continues with a visit from tax agent Tackert, who is interested in the company's real accounting. After the taxman leaves, Marlene slaps Frank and motivates him to find a way to get his money back. Frank turns to Dennis to create a money laundering scheme together. In addition to a share, Frank sets a condition. Dennis has to get him into the Care Club. In 6 months, with the financial support of the IT specialist, Dennis makes a bunch of movies, earns money, and receives honorable awards in the industry. To celebrate, Frank tries illegal substances for the first time in his life, washing them down with alcohol in a limousine on the way to the Care Club. Thanks to Dennis, Frank is allowed into the cool club for the first time. Inside the club, beautiful and wet bodies sweat out a dose of disco stench, but Frank, who has joined the crowd, doesn't mind the unpleasant smells because he is excited. Frank notices that the outdated spotlights are flashing out of time with the music. Then the substances take effect, and he breaks into a dance, falling from the second floor directly onto the cheering crowd, who carry him in their arms like a rock star. In his unrestrained merriment, his eyes land on Vanessa, the winner of the Miss Belgium title, whom the hero immediately laid eyes on, staring at her with dilated pupils. As they are being led to the VIP box, they are stopped by security. Frank tells the club owner that this place is nothing more than a cafe with garlands. The conflict ends with the guy being politely thrown out on the asphalt, after which he, offended in the best possible way, rammed his car into the entrance. The club owner himself politely beats him, hiding from prying eyes. The hero laughs at this and asks him to remember him, because he will show everyone his coolness. The humiliation made Frank's brain work at full capacity. Soon, he, his mom, and Dennis are looking for a place to open their nightclub. His business partner expresses healthy doubts, but Frank is adamant. He convinces the actors to give him the money, but Agent Tackert has already confiscated the property of the computer company. The reason is his connection with Dennis, who also has problems with accounting. Among other things, they found links to Frank's company, which is registered in his grandfather's name. Dennis himself did not turn in his accomplice. Frank wants to buy a painting by Tackert, but he realizes that it is a bribe and refuses on principle. However, the tax service bankrupts the company and freezes the accounts, and Dennis is imprisoned for a year. Thanks to his outgoing personality, he makes useful contacts in prison. Frank finds out that his mother has been saving money from the proceeds, which allows him to open the Zillion Club on October 16, 1997. According to the documents signed by the mayor, it was not a nightclub, but a multifunctional center. Having taken out loans and established international supplies, the technical genius creates a unique institution based on the latest technologies. With Dennis's assistance, the opening was attended by the city's elite. Frank invites Vanessa to the opening of the club, and her appearance is accompanied by an enchanting laser show with pyrotechnics, personally directed by the club owner. The beauty of the sounds and colors impresses the discerning audience, allowing the hero to meet the girl of his dreams. He takes her on a tour of the club, telling her that everything will be great here, and also distracts Vanessa from her father's overprotective attitude. Meanwhile, the manager signs autographs. The celebrity teaches him how to dance in the light of spotlights and sparklers. The fun is interrupted by her father, who takes Vanessa away. As he follows her outside, Frank sees a group of young migrants in tracksuits arguing with the guards at the entrance. The argument escalates into a nasty brawl, which becomes a real highlight of the evening. In the morning, Frank goes to his new apartment, which has become his refuge while he reflects in the human aquarium. In the afternoon, he picks up Vanessa from a photo shoot. Afterwards, they go for a car ride, and Frank invites her to a club. The meeting almost ends in a kiss when Vanessa's father shows up. He talks to Frank alone, threatening him and hinting that his perfect daughter will not get involved with a short guy. But the hero has a new trick up his sleeve. Dennis is released, and Frank meets him at the gate in a limousine. He explains to his partner his rights and responsibilities at the Zillion Club, while a specially trained girl puts him in a good mood. Dennis recruits his former cellmates, angry Albanians who have been through the war, as well as criminals and experienced fighters who can become the best security of all. Frank takes Vanessa dancing at his club. Their kiss smoothly turns into an interrogation, and the girl wants to know how the hero bribed her father, because he is now not against their communication. He shows her some dirt, a recording of certain scenes with a fake actress and Vanessa's father. Meanwhile, the guy seduces the girl, and they are already indulging in passion on the floor. In the morning, Vanessa mistakes Marlene for a migrant cleaner, but the girl does not reveal the truth, preferring to leave with a grudge. Meanwhile, the club becomes a fashionable and profitable place. In addition to income from visitors, Frank receives a percentage from the Albanian mafia, which provides guests with illegal substances and call girls. To launder this income, the hero invents new schemes to transfer money through banks around the world. The locals don't like this club on their doorstep and complain to the mayor, but to no avail. The politician does not touch the club, whose GDP is equal to a small African country. Frank lives a life of luxury and fame, enjoying the company of Vanessa, whom he introduces to his mother. His friend gives him a pair of high-platform shoes to compensate for his short stature. However, his son's success makes his mother jealous, and she deliberately burns her hand on the gas stove to distract her son from Vanessa. Upon arrival, the mother expresses her dissatisfaction with Frank's appearance, who, on the advice of his beloved, looks like a clown, including platform shoes. Because of this, the insecure boy sees his girlfriend leave his phone number with the DJ, but he doesn't have time to have an explanatory conversation because a police squad appears outside with an unexpected raid. While the Albanians are holding them back, the accomplices have time to get rid of the illegal substances and other evidence. To the music, a fight breaks out in the club in the spirit of good old-fashioned jousting. After taking the speakers outside, Frank uses a police megaphone to announce that the party is still going on, keeping the mood of the crowd outside positive. After that, the Albanians beat up the DJ at the hero's personal request, sending him to the hospital. But as it turned out, the musician was the grandson of the Minister of Justice. Vanessa accuses Frank of spying on her, admitting that she gave the DJ her friend's number because she liked him. They fight with Frank. After this incident, the state authorities take an interest in the Zillion Club, and the club is subjected to initial inspections. More visitors than allowed are not allowed in. The owner is forced to attend court hearings and pay all fines. Former convicts were banned from working in security, which the Albanians did not like. Dennis's interest in the daughter of the Albanian chief added to the tension. In response, Frank announced parties with an interesting plot, which invariably turned into something explicit. The parties were held anonymously and in masks. So many politicians became regular attendees of these events. Most of what was happening was carefully recorded on camera, just in case. The liberated Albanians declared war on the club by throwing a Molotov cocktail. To survive, the hero teaches the guards how to shoot with firearms. He accuses Dennis of bringing in prison gangsters. An attempt to negotiate leads to the Albanians breaking Dennis's right arm. The authorities promote Agent Tackert. Frank has to study the materials in the evenings in order to speak confidently during the next court hearing. Vanessa listens to music, interfering with Frank's work. She hides the fact that she had a nosebleed during the photo shoot, the result of a Colombian cold caused by substance abuse. Frank's attempt to limit her use of substances leads to another fight, after which Vanessa appears before the lawyers as if she had given birth. Agent Tackert makes a move through another important woman in the hero's life and interrogates his mother, praising Vanessa and Frank's taste in girls. The mother warns Frank that the agent is a clever man and can put him in prison, but he does not listen. The hero appears on a talk show where his opponents are local residents who are dissatisfied with noisy parties. In the evening, he looks at the cover of a magazine with a naked Vanessa. Her return turns into another scandal. Frank takes away a hidden stash of illegal substances, thus indirectly confirming that he has been following the girl even in the house. In a fit of withdrawal and anger, Vanessa searches the room and finds hidden cameras. She cuts all the wires she finds, depriving Frank of his secrets, and then leaves. The guy follows her with a crowd of guards to pick her up, but it ends in another fight. Vanessa puts pressure on the guy's sore spot, calling him a shorty. The incident turns into a fight with the owner, after which the guy takes the girl, who is packing to leave him. The woman is offended that Frank knows nothing about her, treating her as an expensive fashion accessory. The guy wants to lock Vanessa up, but Dennis intervenes. However, he has his own problems. The older Albanian caught him with his daughter. Dennis has to run away, forgetting his branded glasses on the table. Criminal gangsters show up at Frank's door with guns to recognize his business partner. The guys meet in a parking lot to discuss the situation. Frank advises his friend to run away, and Dennis asks him for money for his help in setting up a business. But Frank does not recognize his merits. During dinner, two masked men break into the boy's apartment, beat him, and take the money from the safe at gunpoint. Marlene comes to the apartment with police journalists and accuses Vanessa of aiding the robbers. On emotion, the guy makes a marriage proposal to the girl, to which she does not have time to respond. The club manager appears with news. The burning car has been found, and he is fired from his job. Frank goes to the junkyard to examine the car before the forensic team does. In the car are the keys to the card of Dennis, who is obviously involved in the robbery. Immediately, the security guard reports that he has found Dennis, which Frank informs the Albanians, and they visit his partner. The guy is visited by Agent Tackert with a recording of Vanessa's phone conversation with the club owner Care Club. They discuss revenge on Frank, for which she stole Dennis's key card. Realizing that he has betrayed his only friend to the killers, Frank sheds a few tears. Tackert gives him a choice: hand over all the black books, or Vanessa will go to jail for organizing the crime. At this time, Marlene, who has guessed everything, quarrels with her daughter-in-law, which results in her pushing her head against the TV. Frank rushes to the scene of Dennis's execution, hoping to ransom him from the Albanians. At the former studio, he finds a camera recording the torture, but Dennis has grabbed a gun and escaped from the Albanians. The Albanians advise him to run away, but on the way out, Dennis falls from above right into a car. The friends manage to escape, finally shooting down one of the attackers, but the situation remains unresolved. Dennis needs to hide from the vengeful foreigners. Taking some cash, he says goodbye to the guy. Frank calls an ambulance to the hospital. His mother has a concussion, but that's not the worst thing because she has a tumor again. Standing outside the ward, the hero asks Vanessa an important question: will she marry him? Using the accumulated dirt, Frank prevents Agent Tackert from opening a case against Vanessa. The issue with the Albanians is resolved thanks to the police called to the address where the illegal substances were being packaged. Marlene is in a cafe listening to a report about her son's engagement to the hated Vanessa. Among the mail, she finds Agent Tackert's business card and writes on it the password to Frank's secret documents, which allows the tax inspector to find evidence of the crimes. Frank is taken away, leaving Vanessa far from him, like an unattainable dream, as she first appeared to him in the prison where he is serving his sentence. On the wall hangs a painting by Tackert that he gave to his defeated enemy as a reminder of his defeat. While Frank was serving his sentence, Dennis was arrested in Prague for seducing a girl, and Vanessa, having thought carefully, decided to unilaterally divorce her impoverished fiancé. After his release, Frank started another trading company while working in the family cafe, and he has been paying taxes on the proceeds. And the Zillion Club, the highest point of his commercial activity, was safely demolished.